Listen to me more deeply, my child, before you move, before you answer, before you sign, before you leave, before you say yes, and before you say no. Let your heart come down from the place of panic. Let your thoughts stop running ahead of my peace. Let the noise around you grow quiet enough for you to recognize that I am not speaking through every pressure that is pressing you. I see the weight you have been carrying. I see how one decision has become many decisions in your mind, how work, love, family, money, timing, calling, obedience, and fear have all gathered in the same room of your soul, until you no longer know which voice belongs to wisdom and which voice belongs to anxiety. My child, I know the exhaustion of your inner wrestling. You are not only asking, what should I do? You are asking, what if I miss it? What if I choose wrongly? What if I disappoint them? What if I wait too long? What if the right door closes? What if I obey and still lose something I wanted? What if I stay and regret it? What if I leave and cannot return? Do you see how the decision has become larger than the one who holds your future? Do you see how urgency has tried to sit on the throne where my peace belongs? I do not come to shame you for feeling pressed. I come to free you from being ruled by what presses you. Understand this, beloved. Not every urgent thing is from me. Not every demand carries my authority. Not every open window is an invitation, and not every delayed step is disobedience. Sometimes stillness is protection. Sometimes waiting is preparation. Sometimes the pause that frustrates your flesh is the mercy that guards your future. You have called some delays weakness, because you feared people would misunderstand you. But I tell you that there is a stillness that is holy, a stillness that is not avoidance, a stillness that is not fear, a stillness that is surrender under my hand. When I say, be still, I am not asking you to become passive. I am calling you to come under my authority again. As it is written, be still and know that I am God. Psalm 46:10. This is not a command to collapse beneath pressure. This is a command to stop letting pressure pretend to be God. Be still and know, not be still and understand everything. Not be still and control every outcome. Not be still and make everyone approve of you. Be still and know that I am God. Know that I am above the timeline. Know that I am Lord over the door. Know that I am faithful over the promise. Know that I am not confused by the options that confuse you. Know that before I give direction to your feet, I first restore stillness to your heart. For a restless heart can turn even a good instruction into striving. A frightened heart can call escape obedience. A wounded heart can call isolation wisdom. A people-pleasing heart can call agreement peace. This is why I do not begin with the step. I begin with the center. I begin where fear has tightened its grip. I begin where imagination has created outcomes I never spoke. I begin where you have rehearsed conversations, losses, failures, and disappointments until your soul feels tired before you have even moved. My child, return to me there. Do not bring me only the decision. Bring me the trembling beneath the decision. And if this word is already settling your spirit, let your agreement become visible. Like this video, as a small act of saying, Lord, I am listening. Subscribe if you desire more prayerful messages of discernment, stillness, and holy direction. Share this with someone standing at a crossroads, someone whose heart has been pulled by many voices, and write in the comments, Lord, make my heart still before I decide. Let that be more than a sentence. Let it be surrender. Let it be your altar in this moment. Now hear me clearly, my beloved child. The decision itself is not the first issue. The condition of your heart before the decision is the first issue. Before the answer, I am restoring order. Before the movement, I am restoring peace. Before the door, I am restoring discernment. Before I show you where to place your feet, I am teaching your heart to be still in my presence. The pressure around you is not always the voice within you, my child. Learn this with tenderness and learn it with sobriety, because pressure often arrives wearing clothing that makes it appear righteous. Pressure can dress itself as wisdom and say, you must decide now because this is practical. Pressure can dress itself as opportunity and say, doors like this do not open twice. Pressure can dress itself as loyalty and say, if you love them, you will not disappoint them. Pressure can dress itself as romance and say, if it feels this strong, it must be right. Pressure can dress itself as responsibility and say, Everyone is depending on you, so you have no permission to pause. Pressure can even dress itself as fear and call that fear discernment, when what it is really doing is trying to hurry you away from stillness before my peace has spoken. Do you see, beloved, the fact that something is loud does not mean it is leading. The fact that something is urgent does not mean it is holy. The fact that people are waiting for your answer does not mean I have released you to give one. Urgency shouts. Peace witnesses. Urgency pushes the soul forward and says, move before you lose this. Peace stands at the gate and asks, does this movement carry my nature? Does it carry truth? Does it carry humility? Does it carry love? Does it carry obedience? Does it carry clean motives? Does it draw you nearer to me, or does it pull you into striving, performance, fear, vanity, resentment, and confusion? I am not asking you to ignore what is happening around you, my child, but I am teaching you not to let what is around you rule what I am speaking within you. There are circumstances you must notice. There are facts you must consider. There are needs you must honor. There are responsibilities you must not despise. But facts are not your master. Needs are not your throne. Human expectation is not your shepherd. I am your shepherd. My word is a lamp unto your feet and a light unto your path. Psalm 119, 105. A lamp does not always show the whole road, but it will show the next step when your heart stops running ahead of my light. There may be a job offer before you that looks impressive, and others may tell you that only a foolish person would hesitate. It may increase your income. It may expand your name. It may appear to solve a burden you have carried for a long time. But if beneath the excitement there is a stealing of peace, if your spirit is shrinking while your ambition is growing, if the door requires you to become less truthful, less present, less rooted, less obedient, then do not call that loss of peace wisdom. Bring it into my light. Let me show you whether it is provision, testing, or distraction. Not every increase is blessing if it costs you obedience. There may be a relationship that feels intense, my beloved, and intensity can make the heart believe it has found destiny. But intensity is not covenant. Chemistry is not confirmation. Familiar wounds can recognize one another and call that recognition love. Loneliness can magnify attention and call it purpose. Desire can become impatient and say, this must be from God because I feel alive. Yet if the relationship confuses your spirit, if it causes you to hide, compromise, rush, obsess, fear losing yourself, or lower what I have already made clear in my word, then the feeling must be tested. Emotions are messengers, not rulers. Attraction may speak, but it must bow. Longing may speak, but it must bow. Fear of being alone may speak, but it must bow beneath my truth. There may be a family demand that appears loving, because it comes from people you care about, people who have history with you, people whose disappointment feels heavy in your chest. But love and control are not the same thing. Honor and bondage are not the same thing. Compassion and surrendering your conscience are not the same thing. Sometimes a voice can say, we need you, while what it means is, we want to govern you. Sometimes a demand can use the language of family, while refusing the order of my spirit. I call you to love. I call you to honor. I call you to serve. But I do not call you to be ruled by guilt. I do not call you to make decisions from emotional debt. I do not call you to call manipulation peace, simply because it came from someone familiar. And there may be a ministry step, my child, that appears holy on the outside, yet is being driven by striving on the inside. A door can involve prayer, service, leadership, sacrifice, and visibility, and still need to be tested. Do not assume that because something uses my name, it carries my timing. Do not assume that because a thing helps others, I have asked you to carry it in this season. Even good works must remain surrendered. Even service must flow from abiding. You were not called to prove your devotion by exhausting your soul. You were called to abide in me, and fruit comes from the branch that remains in the vine. John 15. A branch does not force fruit by anxiety. It receives life, and fruit comes in season. As it is written, desire without knowledge is not good, and whoever makes haste with his feet misses his way. Proverbs 19:2. Hear this gently. Zeal alone is not enough. Excitement alone is not enough. A strong pull alone is not enough. You can run with energy and still run outside of wisdom. You can move quickly and still miss the path. I do not despise your zeal, but I purify it. I do not despise your desire to respond, to fix, to help, to seize, to love, to obey. But I will not let haste become your shepherd if your heart belongs to me. So test what is pushing you. Ask what atmosphere surrounds the decision. Is it forcing fear? Is it producing panic? Is it feeding vanity? Is it stirring revenge? Is it making you desperate to prove something, escape something, or secure something apart from trust in me? Then bring it into stillness before you act. Let the decision sit in my presence long enough for the disguise to fall away. Pressure may demand an answer quickly, but my spirit teaches the soul to test what is pushing it. I will not shame you for pausing. I will not abandon you because you slow down. I will meet you in the quiet place, and there I will show you what is noise, what is wisdom, what is flesh, what is fear, and what carries the sound of my peace. And now, my child, let me speak to the place where the decision has become emotional. Let me touch the place where your chest tightens, where your thoughts repeat, where your memories rise, where desire pulls, where fear warns, where disappointment whispers, and where hope and dread seem to sit at the same table. I am not asking you to pretend you do not feel. I am not asking you to become hard, distant, numb, or untouched. I created you with the capacity to feel, to grieve, to rejoice, to long, to ache, to discern, to respond. Your emotions are not enemies. They are signals within the soul. But hear me clearly, beloved. They are messengers, not rulers. They may reveal something, but they must never rule everything. Do you see? Fear may be telling you something needs attention, but fear must not become your shepherd. Loneliness may be revealing an ache that needs my comfort, but loneliness must not choose your covenant. Pride may be exposing a place where you still want to be seen, honored, chosen, or vindicated, but pride must not write your next step. Anger may show you where a boundary has been crossed, where injustice has wounded you, where something must be brought into truth. But anger must not sit on the throne and command you to cut, burn, punish, or abandon without my wisdom. Grief may reveal that something mattered deeply, that something was lost, that something still needs healing. But grief must not prophesy over your future and say, never try again. Desire may tell you that something is beautiful, attractive, possible, or deeply wanted, but desire must not say, this must be God, simply because it feels strong. Understand this, my beloved child. Intensity is not authority. A feeling can be loud and still be unsubmitted. A feeling can be familiar and still be unhealed. A feeling can be convincing and still be incomplete. This is why I am restoring order within you. Not suppression but order. Not denial but discernment. Not emotional numbness but spiritual government. I do not come to silence your heart as though your inner life does not matter. I come to govern your heart because it matters deeply. I come to bring every voice within you beneath my word, beneath my peace, beneath my spirit, beneath the truth that does not tremble when your emotions tremble. My child, some decisions feel urgent because fear is saying, hurry, or you will lose everything. Some decisions feel romantic because loneliness is saying, settle, or you will be alone forever. Some decisions feel necessary because pride is saying, prove yourself, or they will think you are weak. Some decisions feel justified because anger is saying, cut them off now, and do not listen, do not forgive, do not ask me what love requires. Some decisions feel final because grief is saying, close your heart because pain will always repeat itself. Some decisions feel spiritual because desire is saying, this must be from God because I feel alive when I imagine it. But I tell you, beloved, every one of these voices must be brought into my light. Not because they are all wicked, but because none of them are lured. Remember Peter upon the water. He stepped out because he heard my command. He did not step onto stability, he stepped onto obedience. The sea was beneath him, the wind was around him, and my voice was before him. As long as his eyes were fixed on me, the impossible held him. But when he saw the wind, fear rose louder than the command. The water did not become more powerful than me. The storm did not become greater than my word. The command did not lose authority. What changed was Peter's attention. Do you see? Fear became louder when his focus shifted. The wind did not dethrone me, but it did occupy his eyes. So when you are deciding, ask not only, what do I feel? Ask, what has my attention? Has fear become larger than my promise? Has loneliness become louder than my presence? Has anger become stronger than my wisdom? Has desire become brighter than my word? Has grief become more believable than my faithfulness? I am not rebuking you for noticing the wind. I am teaching you not to obey it, as though it is me. There is a difference between seeing the storm and surrendering direction to the storm. There is a difference between feeling afraid and letting fear choose the path. There is a difference between longing for something and bowing to longing as though longing is truth. As it is written, take every thought captive to obey Christ. 2 Corinthians 10:5. And hear me, my child, this includes the emotional thought. This includes the thought that feels true because it arrives with tears. This includes the thought that feels wise because it arrives with anxiety. This includes the thought that feels righteous because it arrives with anger. This includes the thought that feels like destiny because it arrives with desire. Bring it captive. Do not let it roam through your mind, creating conclusions I never spoke. Do not let it build a future out of fear. Do not let it interpret silence as rejection, delay as denial, correction as abandonment, or waiting as punishment. Bring the feeling to me and say, Lord, what is this revealing? Is this fear asking for comfort or fear demanding control? Is this loneliness asking for healing or loneliness choosing compromise? Is this anger asking for truth or anger demanding revenge? Is this grief asking to be held or grief trying to close my future? Is this desire aligned with your word or is it trying to hurry ahead of your timing? When you ask me this in stillness, I will teach you. I will not shame you for having emotion. I will not mock you for trembling. I will not reject you because the wind startled you. I am the one who reached for Peter when he began to sink. I am the one who lifts the trembling disciple and teaches him again where to look. Therefore, beloved, do not make war against your emotions, but do not crown them. Listen to them, but do not enthrone them. Bring them near, but bring them low. Let them speak, but make them bow. The emotion connected to the decision may reveal something, but it must never rule everything. Stillness is the place where emotion is heard without being obeyed too quickly. Stillness is the place where fear is comforted, loneliness is held, pride is humbled, anger is purified, grief is healed, and desire is submitted. Stillness is the place where the messenger comes into the room, but my word remains on the throne. And now, beloved, let me teach you how to understand peace, because many of my children have mistaken peace for ease, and when the path becomes costly, they assume I have left it. They say, if this were God, I would not feel any trembling. If this were God, there would be no risk. If this were God, everyone would understand. If this were God, my emotions would be quiet, my circumstances would be smooth, and the road would open without resistance. But hear me carefully, my child. Peace is not the absence of cost. Peace is not the absence of questions. Peace is not the absence of trembling in the body, while obedience is being formed in the spirit. My peace is deeper than emotional comfort. My peace is the inward witness that my presence is governing the path. Do you see? There are times when obedience will cost you something, yet my peace will remain like an anchor beneath the waves. There are times when you must say no with tears, but peace will stand within you as truth. There are times when you must say yes with trembling, but peace will bear witness that I am with you. There are times when the step will not be painless, but it will be clean. There are times when the decision will not be easy, but it will be right. Do not confuse difficulty with absence. Do not confuse courage with confusion. Do not confuse trembling with disobedience. The soul can shake while the spirit agrees. The hand can tremble while the heart is surrendered. I have led many of my servants through paths that required courage, but I did not leave them without peace. As it is written, let the peace of Christ rule in your hearts. Colossians 3:15. Understand this word, my child. Let my peace rule. Let it govern. Let it stand as an umpire in the inner court of your soul. When many voices argue, when fear presents its case, when desire presents its case, when pride presents its case, when pressure presents its case, let my peace call what is safe, what is foul, what is clean, what is unclean, what may continue, and what must stop. My peace is not weak. My peace is not vague. My peace does not flatter your ego so you can feel spiritual while ignoring truth. My peace does not numb conviction so you can call compromise freedom. My peace rules. There is a relief that comes from avoiding what I asked you to face, and many have called that relief peace. But relief is not always peace. Relief may come when you refuse the difficult conversation, because for a moment the tension lowers. Relief may come when you agree to something you know is wrong, because for a moment people stop pressuring you. Relief may come when you run from obedience, because for a moment the cost disappears from view. But relief fades when truth is still waiting. Relief quiets the surface while disorder remains beneath it. My peace remains when truth has been obeyed. My peace can sit with you after the hard conversation. My peace can strengthen you after the painful no. My peace can hold you after the obedient yes. Relief says, I escape discomfort. Peace says, I am under God. My child, do not ask only, does this make me feel better right now? Ask, does this bring me into alignment with my Father? Does this preserve truth in me? Does this keep my conscience clear before God? Does this carry the fragrance of obedience, humility, love, and wisdom? For my peace does not merely soothe you, it guards you. As it is written, be anxious for nothing, but in everything by prayer and supplication, with thanksgiving let your requests be made known unto God, and the peace of God, which surpasses all understanding, will guard your hearts and minds in Christ Jesus. Philippians 4:6-7. My peace guards. It stands like a watchman at the gate. It does not allow every thought to enter and rule. It does not allow anxiety to seize the throne. It does not allow compromise to walk in dressed as opportunity. This is why a lucrative role may look like provision, yet my peace may restrain you. Others may see salary, title, influence, and advancement, but I may show you that the atmosphere will pull you away from integrity, presence, family, health, or obedience. My peace may warn you before the contract wounds you. A relationship may look beautiful, and affection may rise quickly, yet my peace may restrain a rushed engagement because what is moving fast is not yet proven in truth. I am not against love, my child. I am against confusion being crowned as covenant. A family response may feel justified in anger, yet my peace may soften your tongue and teach you to speak truth without cruelty. I am not asking you to deny the wound. I am teaching you not to let the wound become lord over your words. A faith step may still require courage, sacrifice, and movement into uncertainty, yet my peace may confirm it because my presence is there, not because the path is free from cost. Remember, beloved, my peace is not the same as the approval of others. My peace is not the same as emotional excitement. My peace is not the same as getting what you wanted. My peace is not the same as the absence of warfare. I gave peace to Paul in chains. I gave peace to Daniel in a den. I gave peace to Esther before she risked her life. I gave peace to Mary when her surrender would be misunderstood. I gave peace to my son in Gethsemane, not by removing the cup from the story, but by bringing the will into surrender before the Father. Do you see? Peace does not always remove the cross from obedience. Peace reveals that my presence is there even when obedience costs something. So bring the decision before me and wait until the surface settles. Do not demand that peace feel like excitement. Do not demand that peace feel like certainty about every outcome. Let my peace rule deeper than your need to know everything. Let it judge the atmosphere of the decision. Let it expose hidden striving. Let it quiet fear. Let it confirm what is clean. Let it resist what is polished but dangerous. Let it hold you steady when obedience is right but not easy. Yet hear me as we move deeper, my child. Peace must stand beside my word. Do not take every calm feeling and call it holy, for numbness can imitate peace, denial can imitate peace, and familiarity can imitate peace. And do not reject every trembling step as wrong, for courage often trembles before it obeys. My peace is not emotional ease. It is the witness of my presence governing the path. But that witness must be brought into the light of Scripture, because not every open door bears my name, and not every calm room has been filled by my Spirit. Do not call every open door my answer, beloved child, and do not call every closed door my rejection. Learn this deeply, because many have walked through doors I never named, simply because the door opened at the moment they were tired of waiting. Many have called access approval. Many have called opportunity assignment. Many have called convenience confirmation. But I tell you, my child, an open door is not automatically a divine door. A path can become available without being appointed. A person can invite you without me sending you. A room can make space for you without carrying my peace for you. A chance can appear at the exact moment your desire is loud, and still that chance must bow beneath my word. my peace, and my character. Do you see? Availability is not authority. Visibility is not calling. Increase is not always blessing. Speed is not always favor. A door may open because it is time, but a door may also open because your heart is being tested. Will you move because something is possible, or will you wait until you know it is mine? Will you let the brightness of the opportunity silence the quiet witness of my spirit? Will you call it faith because it is exciting? When beneath the excitement, your motives are restless, your counsel is avoided, your conscience is uneasy, and your obedience is being negotiated. As it is written, beloved, do not believe every spirit, but test the spirits to see whether they are from God. 1 John 4:1. Hear this not only about voices outside you, but about movements within you and opportunities before you. Test the spirit behind the door. Test the motive that rises when you imagine walking through it. Test the fruit it is already producing in your heart. Does it make you more humble, more truthful, more surrendered, more loving, more obedient, more rooted in me? Or does it make you more secretive, more defensive, more ambitious without purity, more anxious to prove yourself, more willing to bend what I already made clear? Test the timing, test the counsel, test the alignment with my word. Test whether the door requires you to disobey what I already spoke in order to receive what it appears to offer. My child, a counterfeit door often does not arrive looking evil. It may look reasonable, it may look profitable, it may look flattering, it may come with affirmation from people who do not know the full condition of your soul. It may come with words that sound spiritual, yet the fruit beneath them is pressure, pride, secrecy, compromise, and isolation. Be careful when a door requires you to hide. Be careful when a door makes you pull away from wise counsel because you already fear what wisdom will say. Be careful when a door feeds the part of you that wants to be admired more than surrendered. Be careful when a door tells you to hurry so that truth cannot inspect it. What is from me can stand in the light. What is from me does not need deception to survive. Remember David in the cave when Saul came near him. David had access. David had opportunity. David had the pain of injustice behind him and the promise of kingship before him. Those around him interpreted the moment as divine permission. They said, "This is the day the Lord has delivered your enemy into your hand." Everything about the circumstance could have been used to justify action. The door was open. The enemy was vulnerable. The delay had been long. The suffering had been real. But David refused to let convenience override reverence. He would not take with his own hand what I had promised to give in my time. He would not violate honor in the name of destiny. He would not call revenge obedience simply because the moment made revenge possible. Do you see, beloved? David understood what many forget. A door can open and still require restraint. A moment can look arranged and still need to be tested. People can speak confidently around you and still misunderstand my heart. If David had listened only to circumstance, he would have called access a command. If he had listened only to pain, he would have called vengeance justice. If he had listened only to impatient counsel, he would have called haste faith, but reverence held him. My fear governed him, my character restrained him, and because he submitted the opportunity to my holiness, the open door did not become a trap for his soul. So, when a door opens before you, do not only ask, "Can I walk through it?" Ask, "Can I walk through it with a clean heart? Can I walk through it without hiding? Can I walk through it without betraying my conscience? Can I walk through it without disobeying Scripture? Can I walk through it without becoming less like Christ? Can I walk through it with peace that remains after excitement fades? Can I walk through it while staying teachable, accountable, and surrendered? These questions will guard you from doors that flatter your desire while weakening your devotion. I am not trying to make you afraid of movement, my child. I am teaching you to move with discernment. I do open doors that no one can shut. I do make ways where there was no way. I do lead you into rooms you could not have entered by your own strength. But the doors I open will not require you to abandon my nature in order to receive my promise. My provision will not demand your compromise. My assignment will not deepen your duplicity. My blessing will not require rebellion against what I have already made clear. An available option still needs to be submitted to my word, my peace, and my character. And if the door closes, do not immediately call it rejection. Sometimes a closed door is mercy. Sometimes a delay is protection. Sometimes the thing you begged me to open would have carried you into a burden you were not assigned to bear. I know what stands behind doors you cannot see through. I know the atmosphere of rooms before you enter them. I know the fruit of decisions before the seed is fully visible to you. Trust me enough to test what opens, and trust me enough not to worship what closes. Now let your heart become quiet again, because discernment is not only about what is available, it is about who is leading. You were never meant to chase every open door like a child running after every sound in the street. You are my sheep, and my sheep hear my voice. Beneath the noise of opportunity, pressure, counsel, desire, fear, and timing, there is a shepherd who leads with truth. The door matters, but my voice matters more. The opportunity matters, but my presence matters more. The path matters, but the one leading you upon it matters most. Listen now beneath the noise, my child, because the fear that troubles many hearts is not only, what should I do? It is, what if I miss you? What if I mistake my own desire for your voice? What if I step too soon, wait too long, choose wrongly, and lose the thing you meant for me? I see that fear. I know the trembling that comes when a decision feels large and the voices around it feel many. But I tell you gently and firmly, I do not mock a heart that wants to hear me. I do not hide myself from the child who is turning toward me in sincerity. I am a shepherd, not a deceiver. I lead my own with patience. As it is written, my sheep hear my voice, and I know them, and they follow me. John 10:27. Hear the order, beloved. My sheep hear my voice. I know them, they follow me. This is relationship before technique. This is communion before frantic sign seeking. This is not the language of a stranger trying to decode a distant signal. This is the language of belonging. You are not trying to force heaven to speak from behind a locked door. You are learning the voice of the one who has already called you by name. You are not an orphan, guessing at the will of a reluctant father. You are my child, and I am not careless with those who belong to me. Do you see? The enemy wants you to believe that guidance depends entirely on your ability to perform perfectly, to hear perfectly, to interpret perfectly, and to never tremble while discerning. But I am greater than your weakness. I am greater than your limited understanding. I am greater than the noise around you and the noise within you. I can confirm, I can correct, I can slow, I can redirect. I can repeat what your heart did not understand the first time. My leadership is not fragile. My voice is not threatened by your learning process. I am able to shepherd you, even while you are still growing in discernment. But you must learn to recognize what is not my voice. The voice of people-pleasing will say, do what keeps them happy, even if your soul becomes divided. The voice of scarcity will say, take whatever is available, because nothing better will come. The voice of old trauma will say, protect yourself at all costs, because what happened before will always happen again. The voice of comparison will say, hurry, because others are ahead, others are chosen, others are succeeding, and you are being left behind. The voice of impatience will say, move now, because waiting means losing. The voice of accusation will say, you are already failing, you are not spiritual enough, you are too confused, too late, too damaged, too unstable to hear God clearly. Beloved, these voices may sound familiar, but familiarity is not truth. These voices may sound urgent, but urgency is not authority. These voices may sound reasonable, but reason without surrender can still carry fear in its bloodstream. Bring them into my light. Let my word examine them. Let my peace expose them. Let my spirit reveal what fruit they produce. Does the voice make you more truthful, more humble, more surrendered, more loving, more obedient, more courageous in holiness? Or does it make you false, frantic, defensive, bitter, proud, hidden, rushed, and afraid? My voice does not require you to become someone false in order to obey me. My voice does not ask you to betray my character to receive my promise. My voice does not lead you into darkness and then call the darkness wisdom. My voice is consistent with my word. I will not speak against what I have already breathed through Scripture. My voice carries my character. It may correct you, but it will not crush you. It may convict you, but it will not accuse you into despair. It may call you to surrender, but it will not manipulate you through panic. It may lead you through a narrow path, but it will not make you unclean in order to call you blessed. My voice produces holy fruit, even when the command is costly. It draws you toward obedience, purity, patience, courage, humility, truth, and love. The fruit matters, my child. The spirit behind a voice is revealed by what it forms in you. Remember Samuel in the night. He was young. He was serving near holy things, yet he did not immediately recognize my voice. I called him, and he ran to Eli. I called again, and he still did not understand. I called again, and he needed instruction. Yet I did not despise him for not knowing at first. I did not say, because you missed the first call, you are disqualified. I kept calling. I used guidance. I taught him how to answer. Speak, Lord, for your servant hears. Do you see? Immaturity did not cancel the calling. Inexperience did not silence my patience. The child who did not yet recognize the voice became the prophet who carried my word with faithfulness. So do not condemn yourself because you are learning. Do not say, if I were truly close to God, I would never need confirmation. Do not say, if I were truly spiritual, I would never feel uncertain. A child learns the voice of a father by staying near, by listening again and again, by discovering the tone, the character, the consistency, the love, the correction, the presence. You learn my voice in communion. You learn it in scripture. You learn it in prayer. You learn it when you obey small promptings and let me teach you through them. You learn it when you stop running from stillness and allow the noise to settle until the shepherd is no longer buried beneath the crowd. And when you hear, beloved, understand this also. The next struggle is often not clarity, but trust. Many ask me to speak, but when I speak, they must decide whether they will surrender the outcome, surrender the approval of others, surrender the timeline, surrender the imagined version of the future, surrender the door that looked bright but did not bear my peace. Clarity is not always the hardest part. Sometimes the hardest part is letting my voice become more important than the appearance of the opportunity. Therefore, come closer. Do not chase signs while neglecting communion. Do not treat me like a distant answer machine when I have called you into fellowship. Abide in me. Let my word dwell in you richly. Let your heart become quiet enough to notice the difference between pressure and presence, accusation and conviction, haste and leading, fear and wisdom. I know how to lead you, my child. I know how to teach you. I know how to make my voice known beneath the noise of many voices. You are my sheep. I know you. And as you remain near me, you will learn to follow. And if I slow you down, my child, do not immediately call it denial. Do not let the ache of waiting interpret my heart falsely. I see how time feels when the decision is pressing against you. I see how the calendar seems to speak. I see how other people are moving forward, signing papers, entering relationships, accepting opportunities, building families, changing cities, making announcements, while you are still standing with the question in your hands. I know the sting that rises when someone else's movement makes your waiting feel like failure. But beloved, delay in my hand is not punishment. Delay in my hand can be mercy. Delay in my hand can be shelter. Delay in my hand can be the quiet wall standing between you and what haste cannot see. Understand this deeply. I do not slow you because I enjoy withholding from you. I do not pause you because I have forgotten your desire. I do not allow waiting because your longing means nothing to me. I am a father, and I know what stands beyond the bend in the road. I know the fruit before the seed is broken open. I know the weight of the door before you carry it. I know the character of the person before the promise sounds beautiful. I know the atmosphere of the room before the invitation becomes official. I know whether the next step will strengthen your obedience or scatter your peace. When I slow you down, I may be saving you from what urgency cannot discern. Do you see? What you call being left behind may be my hand keeping you from being pulled out of alignment. What you call delay may be preparation. What you call silence may be deepening. What you call a closed season may be roots growing beneath soil you cannot see. A tree does not accuse the winter because fruit is not visible. A branch does not call pruning rejection when the gardener is preparing it to bear more. As it is written, every branch that bears fruit he prunes, that it may bear more fruit. John 15:2. Pruning removes what would weaken the future. Preparation strengthens what the future will require. Protection sometimes feels like restriction until the danger passes. Beloved child, there is a difference between anxious delay and surrendered waiting. Anxious delay keeps circling the same fear again and again. It rehearses every possible loss. It asks, what if I miss it? What if they choose someone else? What if I run out of time? What if waiting costs me the opportunity? What if obedience makes me look foolish? Anxious delay measures my faithfulness by the speed of the answer. It turns the soul into a courtroom where fear argues all day and peace is never allowed to speak. But surrendered waiting keeps returning to my character. It says, "My Father knows, my shepherd leads. My God is not late. His word is a lamp to my feet and a light to my path." Psalm 119, 105. Surrendered. Waiting is not passive emptiness. It is active trust beneath my covering. As it is written, whether you turn to the right or to the left, your ears shall hear a word behind you saying, "This is the way, walk in it." Isaiah 30, 21. Hear that, my child. I am able to guide you when the road divides. I am able to speak when left and right both seem possible. I am able to place my word behind you, around you, before you, and within you until your feet know where to go. But sometimes before you hear, "This is the way," you must first stop running down every possible path in your imagination. Sometimes I quiet your movement so your hearing can become clean. Sometimes I delay the answer so the motive attached to the answer can be purified. Remember Israel at the Red Sea. Behind them was the army. Before them was the water. Around them was fear. Everything in the natural realm said, "Move now, panic now, accuse now, regret now." They stood between danger and impossibility, and yet the word came, "Fear not, stand still, and see the salvation of the Lord." Exodus 14, 13. Stand still. Not because the sea would remain closed forever, but because the next movement had to come from me, not from panic. The command to stand still was not abandonment at the edge of death, it was the posture before deliverance. Then, when I opened the way, they moved forward on ground that did not exist before I made it. Do you see? Standing still was not wasted time. It was the space where my power became visible. If they had scattered in fear, they would have missed the path I was forming. If they had surrendered to despair, they would have mistaken the wall of water for the end of the story. But I was not finished. I was guarding them from the army behind them and preparing a road through the impossibility before them. What looked like delay was the doorway to deliverance. So do not despise the pause, beloved. Bring your impatience to me, but do not let impatience rule you. Bring your fear of being late to me, but do not let fear become your shepherd. Bring your longing to me, but do not let longing make an idol out of the timeline. I can restore years. I can redeem time. I can open what no one can shut. I can close what would have harmed you, and later show you why my hand restrained you. You are not falling behind when you are following me. You are not losing your future when you are surrendering it into my hands. Now let waiting become fruitful in you. Stop circling the decision until your soul is dizzy with its own questions. Return to me. Abide in me. Let the waiting room become a sanctuary. Let the pause become communion. Let the delay become the place where motives are surrendered. Scripture is restored to authority. Peace is allowed to guard the gate, and your heart learns that I am enough even before the answer arrives. For when the soul stops circling the decision and starts abiding in me, waiting is no longer empty. It becomes light. It becomes preparation. It becomes holy ground beneath your feet. Now bring the decision into my light, beloved child, before you carry it into action. Do not carry it first into fear. Do not carry it first into imagination. Do not carry it first into the opinions of people who do not know the full weight of what I am forming in you. Bring it to me. Lay it open before me without decorating it, without defending it, without hiding the parts of it that make you uneasy. For a decision brought into my light loses the power to secretly rule the heart. What remains hidden will often become a master. What is surrendered can become a servant. Pause first, my child. Pause before the text is sent. Pause before the answer is given. Pause before the paper is signed. Pause before the relationship is entered, before the door is closed, before the money is spent, before the vow is spoken, before the resignation is made, before the step is announced. Do not make a permanent decision from a temporary storm. Do not let one wounded hour write the direction of your life. Do not let a lonely night choose a covenant your healed heart would never choose. Do not let a moment of flattery persuade you that admiration is the same as assignment. Do not let exhaustion become your counselor. Do not let anger become your prophet. Do not let relief become your confirmation before my peace has ruled. Understand this, beloved. I am not asking you to become frozen. I am teaching you to become surrendered. There is a difference between fear that refuses to move and wisdom that refuses to be rushed. Fear hides from action because it does not trust me. Wisdom pauses before action because it does trust me. Fear delays in confusion. Wisdom waits in communion. Fear says, "What if I lose everything?" Wisdom says, "Father, I will not move until my heart has been honest before you." Do you see? Stillness is not the absence of courage. Stillness is the place where courage is purified. So pray plainly before me. Do not only ask, "Should I do this?" Ask what is beneath the question. Write the decision before me if you must. Put the matter into words where your soul can no longer blur it with emotion. Say, "Lord, what is driving me? What is drawing me? What is warning me? And what is your word saying over this?" Ask me to reveal whether you are being driven by fear, drawn by love, warned by wisdom, or pulled by an old wound that still needs healing. Ask me whether the desire has become an idol, whether the urgency has become a chain, whether the opportunity has become a mirror for pride, whether the pain has made you more willing to settle than you realize. Then search my word, my child, because my spirit will not lead you against what I have spoken. Your word is a lamp to my feet and a light to my path. Psalm 119, 105. A lamp does not always show the whole road, but it gives enough light for the next obedient step. Let Scripture examine the decision. Does this decision make room for obedience? Does it require hidden compromise? Does it ask you to lie, manipulate, perform, conceal, resent, dishonor, or abandon what I have already made clear? Does it produce peace or only relief? Does it honor what I have already spoken? Does it draw you nearer to truth, or does it make you negotiate with truth in order to keep what you want? Bring the motive into the light also. Motive is the root beneath the visible action. Two people can take the same outward step while being moved by different spirits within. One can move in obedience while another moves in fear. One can wait in trust while another waits in rebellion. One can say yes from surrender while another says yes from hunger for approval. I do not only see the step, beloved, I see what is carrying the step. I see whether love is leading or fear is driving. I see whether faith is rising or pride is protecting itself. I see whether you are choosing from fullness in me or from emptiness that wants another person, another job, another place, another number, another title, another promise to make you feel secure. Seek wise counsel, but do not use counsel to escape surrender. The counsel of the wise can guard you, as it is written, "In the multitude of counselors there is safety." Proverbs 11:14. But choose counsel that fears me more than it flatters you. Do not only seek voices that will bless what you already decided in secret. Do not call it confirmation when you have only gathered agreement. Let the wise ask you hard questions. Let those who walk with me notice the fruit. Let humility sit at the table. If your decision cannot survive honest light, it is not ready to become action. And watch the fruit, my child. Watch what this decision is already producing in you before you even move. Is it producing prayer or avoidance, tenderness or harshness, clarity or obsession, patience or panic, truthfulness or concealment? Does the thought of this path make you more available to love, to serve, to obey, to worship, to remain clean before me? Or does it tighten your soul, divide your heart, and make you secretly afraid of being fully seen? Fruit speaks. The tree is known by its fruit, Matthew 7:20. Not every sweet beginning carries a holy harvest, and not every difficult beginning means I am absent. Therefore, test the fruit by my character, not only by your comfort. Then wait for peace to rule, not peace as emotional ease, not peace as the absence of all trembling, but peace as the governing witness of my presence. Let the peace of Christ rule in your hearts. Colossians 3:15. That word rule is not weak, beloved. Peace stands like an umpire at the gate. Peace says, this may enter. Peace says, this must wait. Peace says, this does not belong. Relief may rush in when pressure stops, but relief is not always peace. Relief says, at least the tension is over. Peace says, my Father is here, and I can obey him even before I control the outcome. Surrender means you allow me to answer yes, no, wait, or not this way. Do not call my no abandonment. Do not call my wait neglect. Do not call my correction rejection. If I say yes, I will give grace for the step. If I say no, I will keep you from what your eyes could not see. If I say wait, I will work in the hidden places while the visible door remains still. If I say not this way, I may be preserving the promise while correcting the path. I am not against you when I redirect you. I am not cruel when I restrain you. I am not absent when I require surrender before movement. So bring the decision into the light again and again until it no longer rules you from the shadows. Bring the desire, bring the fear, bring the name, bring the number, bring the deadline, bring the hope, bring the disappointment, bring the version of the future you are afraid to release. Put it all before me and let your heart say, Father, I want your will more than I want my own way. I want your peace more than I want quick relief. I want obedience more than appearance. I want truth more than flattery. I want your presence more than a path that looks successful without you. And when your heart has been still before me, when the matter has been prayed, searched, examined, counseled, tested, and surrendered, you will not need to be ruled by secrecy or panic. You can stand, my child, not because you control the outcome, but because you trust the one who leads. You can stand with open hands. You can stand without worshiping the answer. You can stand without fearing correction. You can stand because my word and my peace will not abandon the surrendered heart. And from that place, beloved, you will learn when to wait and when to move. And from that place, beloved, you will learn that stillness was never meant to become a prison. I did not call you to be still, so you would live forever, suspended between fear and obedience. I did not quiet you, so you would worship caution. I did not bring the decision into my light, so you would keep examining it until your soul becomes weary from over-testing what I have already made clear. Stillness prepares movement. Surrender prepares obedience. Waiting prepares the step. When my word and my peace stand together, you must not demand that every emotion bow instantly before you take the next faithful step. Understand this, my child. Holy confidence is not the same as emotional certainty. Holy confidence is not the absence of trembling in your hands, questions in your mind, or weakness in your body. Holy confidence is the settled agreement of your spirit with my word, even while your emotions are still learning to rest. Your feelings may still be catching up to your obedience. Your heart may still flutter after the answer has become clear. Your imagination may still ask, what if, what if, what if? Even after my peace has ruled at the gate, do not mistake the trembling of your emotions for the absence of my leading. A foot can shake and still walk in obedience. When my word has examined the path, when my peace has borne witness within you, when wise counsel has helped you see clearly, when the fruit of the decision points toward truth, holiness, humility, love, and surrender, then you may move without demanding that every inner wave become flat. The lake does not have to be without movement for the rock beneath it to remain firm. The sky does not have to be without clouds for the sun to still be shining. Your emotions do not have to become silent before my voice can be trusted. Do you see? I am teaching you not to be ruled by emotion, and I am also teaching you not to be ruled by the fear of emotion. As it is written, trust in the Lord with all your heart, and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct your paths. Proverbs 3, 5 and 6. Hear the order, beloved. Trust me with all your heart. Do not lean on your own understanding. Acknowledge me in all your ways. Then I will make the path straight. This does not mean you will understand everything before you obey. This does not mean you will see the whole road before you take the first step. This does not mean every person will agree, every circumstance will bend easily, or every fear will vanish before movement begins. It means you place the weight of your trust on me instead of on the smallness of your own sight. Do not lean on your own understanding, my child, because your understanding is a servant, not a throne. I gave you wisdom, but I did not design your mind to replace my voice. I gave you the ability to consider, but I did not call you to be governed by endless calculation. There are things you cannot see from where you stand. There are outcomes you cannot control. There are hearts you cannot manage. There are future burdens you cannot measure. If you wait until you understand everything, you will confuse control with faith. But when you acknowledge me in all your ways, when you bring your work, your love, your family, your finances, your calling, your timing, your fear, and your desire under my authority, I straighten what anxiety tangles. And after you move, do not be surprised if faith is still required. Some of my children think that if the decision is right, the path will immediately feel easy. But obedience often opens a road where trust must continue. Abraham left without knowing where he was going. Peter stepped out onto water that still looked like water beneath his feet. Esther moved toward the king while risk still stood in front of her. Paul followed my call and still faced storms, prisons, and questions he could not answer in advance. My presence with them was not proven by the absence of difficulty. So when you take the step and people question you, do not hand them the throne of your peace. When circumstances require endurance, do not say, I must have missed God. When the first day after obedience feels unfamiliar, do not run backward to the comfort of indecision. When your feelings tremble, bring them with you, but do not put them in charge. Let your obedience walk, and let your emotions follow under the authority of my word. Emotions are messengers, not rulers. They may say, I am afraid. They may say, I feel exposed. They may say, I do not know how this will unfold. And you may answer them gently, we are trusting the Lord. We are not leaning on our own understanding. We are walking where peace and the word have stood together. You are not defined by whether the decision impresses others. You are not defined by whether the outcome looks successful immediately. You are not defined by whether the path feels easy, celebrated, understood, or applauded. You are defined by belonging to me. I have called you by your name. You are mine. Isaiah 43:1. Your identity is not edited by the reaction of people. Your calling is not canceled by the discomfort of transition. Your obedience is not invalidated because someone else does not understand the private surrender that happened between your soul and me. I know the altar where you laid it down. I know the prayers no one heard. I know the tears beneath the decision. I know the way you chose my will when your flesh wanted another answer. Therefore, move in humility, not arrogance. Move in trust, not pressure. Move with open hands, not clenched control. Move ready to be corrected if I correct you, but do not keep calling fear wisdom after I have given peace. There is a time to wait, and there is a time to rise. There is a time to test, and there is a time to obey. There is a time to ask again, and there is a time to walk forward with what I have already spoken. My peace and my word will not fight one another. When they stand together, let your feet receive courage. Now place it all in my hands, beloved. Place the decision in my hands. Place the timing in my hands. Place the fear in my hands. Place the outcome in my hands. Place the people who may not understand in my hands. Place the future you cannot control in my hands. You are not stepping away from me when you obey me. You are stepping with me. And as you move, I remain your shepherd, your father, your keeper, your rock, and your guide. Move when I release you. Wait when I hold you. Trust when you cannot see. And when my word and my peace stand together, let obedience rise. Now pray with me, beloved child, and let the decision rest before me. Father, quiet the panic that has been moving through my heart. Quiet the fear that has tried to speak louder than your word. Quiet the rushing thoughts that have made me feel as if I must decide before I have surrendered. Bring my soul beneath the authority of Christ. Let every anxious imagination bow. Let every false deadline lose its power. Let every counterfeit voice be silenced. Let every pressure that is not from you be exposed in your light. Lord, I bring you this decision. I bring you the visible parts and the hidden parts. I bring you what I have told others, and I bring you what I have not had the courage to speak aloud. I bring you the work decision, the offer, the resignation, the interview, the promotion, the assignment, the door that looks promising, and the door that makes my spirit uneasy. I bring you the relationship decision, the conversation, the attraction, the covenant, the loneliness, the waiting, the question of whether to stay, whether to go, whether to speak, whether to be silent. I bring you the family conversation, the wound, the boundary, the forgiveness, the burden, the responsibility, and the words that must be said with truth and love. I bring you the financial choice, my child. I bring you the purchase, the debt, the investment, the provision, the fear of lack, the temptation to grasp, and the desire to feel secure through what I can count instead of through the one who provides. I bring you the move, the city, the house, the open door, the closed door, the unfamiliar road, the fear of leaving, and the fear of staying. I bring you the ministry step, the calling, the invitation, the hidden preparation, the ache to be used, and the need to remain pure before you. I bring you every crossroads I have named, and every crossroads I have kept buried, because I was afraid of what surrender might require. Search me, Lord, and know my heart. Try me, and know my anxious thoughts. Psalm 139:23. Expose what is fear pretending to be wisdom. Expose what is pride pretending to be confidence. Expose what is impatience pretending to be faith. Expose what is compromise pretending to be opportunity. Expose what is flattery pretending to be favor. Expose what is escape pretending to be obedience. Purify my motives until I want your will more than I want my own way. Purify my desire until I can receive yes with humility, no with trust, wait with patience, and not this way with surrender. Let the peace of Christ rule in my heart. Colossians 3:15. Let peace stand at the gate. Let peace govern what enters. Let peace restrain what does not belong. Let your word become the lamp beneath my feet and the light upon my path. Psalm 119:105. I will not ask my emotions to carry what only your truth can carry. I will not ask pressure to interpret your will. I will not let appearance become my shepherd. I will not call urgency holy simply because it feels strong. Teach me to hear beneath the noise. Teach me to wait without unbelief. Teach me to move without striving. Teach me to obey without needing every outcome in my hands. And now I declare over you, beloved, you will not be ruled by fear. You will not be rushed by pressure. You will not be seduced by appearance. You will not be delayed by unbelief. You will hear, you will wait, and you will move in the timing of God. You will not lose your way while your heart is surrendered to me. You will not be abandoned at the crossroads. You will not be mocked for wanting to hear my voice. My sheep hear my voice, and I know them, and they follow me. John 10:27. I will lead you with peace. I will correct you with love. I will guard you with wisdom. I will keep you in my hand. The safest decision is not the one made fastest, my child. The safest decision is the one surrendered fully to me. So be still before you answer what is pressing you. Be still before you sign. Be still before you speak. Be still before you leave. Be still before you commit. Be still before you close the door. Be still before you open your heart. Stillness is not weakness. Stillness is trust, kneeling before wisdom. Stillness is the soul saying, Father, your voice matters more than my panic. Your will matters more than my urgency. Your presence matters more than the path itself. If this is your surrender today, write these words as your declaration. I will be still before I decide. Let it be more than a comment. Let it be an altar. Let it be your agreement that fear will not rule the next step. Pressure will not crown itself as Lord, and your heart will return to the shepherd before it moves. And if you are standing at a crossroads and you need prayer for wisdom, peace, and clarity, leave your prayer request where others can stand with you. You are not meant to carry every decision in isolation. Let the family of faith pray with you while you wait for my peace and my word to stand together. And as you go, remain under my hand. Like this video if this prayer brought peace to your heart. Subscribe for more messages that help you discern my voice beneath the noise. Share this with someone who must not rush the decision in front of them. And remember, beloved, I am not only Lord over the destination, I am Lord over the next step. I will guide you, I will keep you, I will speak. Be still and know that I am God.